Hey there, entrepreneurs. My name is Sushant, and welcome to Trip Talks. This is a show where I interview successful e commerce entrepreneurs, business executives, and thought leaders, and ask them questions about their business story and also dive deep into some of the strategies and tactics that they have used to start and grow their businesses. And today I'm really excited to welcome Paul and Lynda Tran to the show. Paul and Lynda are the co founders of Love and Pebble. Love and Pebble is a skincare company that sells beauty pops. And today I'm going to ask Paul and Lynda a few questions about their entrepreneurial journey and some of the strategies and tactics that they have used to start and grow their business. So thank you so much, Paul and Lynda, for joining the show today.
Hey,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks. Nice meeting you.
So can you share a little bit, what a beauty pop is? Like anyone who doesn't know what this product is, can you share what you have created and what your business is about?
Yeah, so it's a cryofacial that melts into a skin-loving face mask and leaves you with a beautiful glow. It's made with all natural superfoods, and all you have to do is mix it with water and freeze it, and then just apply it to your face like you would a face mask.
Yeah, so there are beauty tools out there that are like ice rollers that kind of like sculpt your face. But we're the first to combine that with a face mask. So as you roll and you sculpt your face and get the benefits of skin icing, it melts into a mask, and the mask is made from like all natural ingredients. And something that we've been working on for about 2 years. And it all started with my wife, Lynda. She basically does a lot of DIY stuff at home, and she was freezing a banana one day and she would rub it on her face. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, no, this really works. It really works. And I was like, okay, cool. So she tried it on me, and I mean, instantly your skin's softer, it's firm, it's lifted. So you get the benefits of the all natural superfoods. And so then we spent the last 2 years kind of seeing how we could make this into something that we could sell to the consumer and scale up as well. So, but yeah, we launched in March, and ever since then we've been selling out. Probably it was our fifth time now we've sold out of inventory. So we're finally back in stock. Thank goodness. But it's like the stock game when you do have something that sells really well is very hard to keep up with demand. So
this is something that mostly women use, or because I assume this is more of a targets more of the female market. Is that correct?
Yes, so a lot of women do use this product because just before it's like they have their nighttime routine or a morning facial, and then we have like a older demographic that appreciates it too, because they get a lot of hot flashes. People who are in their teenagers who suffer from acne, but we do get males who use this product too.
Yeah.
Do you, Paul? Do you use it? I assume
Yeah.
Of course, you're selling it, so you're not going to say no.
Yeah, my skin's not as good as my wife's, but I do use it, and it does work. And I mean, it's something that really helped us is with the pandemic and everything. There's a lot of businesses that like succeed, and there's a lot of businesses that kind of suffer from it. We kind of intersect into a market where it's basically at-home facials, right? So not that many people were going into the skincare clinics and like the estheticians and the spas. So this is something that you can experience in the comfort of your home, but kind of get that spa-like experience. And that's what a lot of our customers were saying, and a lot of estheticians that were like, oh my gosh, this is something that is amazing, and they want to use it in their clinic as well. So
can you share a little bit about the initial prototyping process? So you had this idea that you can create a product like this, combining cryotherapy plus facial mask concept.
Yeah.
How did you come up with like the design of this, the ingredients? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it started in our kitchen, and obviously I was doing this years before, but I had to figure out how to deliver this to customers. So I was like, we can't ship out fresh fruits because they'll go bad, or if we send out like frozen pops, it would melt. So we just formulated at home. We bought certain ingredients, tested different things out.
Millions.
And yeah, it
millions.
took a really long time
Yeah.
because just making sure you have the right ingredients, the percentages, the consistency, the smell, the color, everything. And Paul is a pharmacist, so he went into his books and did some research and found out about some of the ingredients that we use in our formula that really do help with acne and inflammation. Papaya is another ingredient that we have in there that's a natural enzyme that helps exfoliate skin. So, every ingredient serves a purpose. And so, yeah, it took us about 2 years to come up with this. And then we designed a mold and paired it together and tested that just to make sure that that worked well together. And so, yeah, 2 years later, here we are.
So it seems like
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, I was going to say, I think what we did was something very unique, and especially unique in the beauty world. And the reason why we knew it was unique is not just from the clients' kind of feedback, but it was really hard finding a manufacturer that really understood what we were trying to do. I think we started at home, but once we had a formula that we knew worked, I mean, we went through manufacturer after manufacturer after manufacturer, and most of them didn't know how to make our product. And we finally landed on someone who kind of understood and kind of took direction from us. So I think that's something is super unique about our product. And it's in the beauty industry has been looking for this because they've been doing the same thing over and over. There's so many serums, there's so many creams, and ours is the first that's kind of like changed all of that. And that's why, we've sold out like so many times. But yeah, so we're super excited about that.
So one thing that I am very curious about, and I think this is not necessarily about your product, but necessarily, the beauty category in general. So when you have a product like this, then, of course, you put it on and hopefully it makes some difference. Is there like some scientific background behind it? Like, is there like any scientific thing that you have done where you can show that, if 100 people use it over like 1 month period or something, their skin will improve over time or something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, that's something that every company, I think that's our next step. I mean, those clinical trials, I think that is kind of what you're getting at, is they are very costly. And if we do one, we want to do it the right way. And a little bit about my background, I was a lab assistant before doing drug development back in pharmacy school. So I am familiar with that. And that is something that we do intend to do in the future. However, a lot of our ingredient base that we put in our product is pulled from studies showing effectiveness, right?
Okay.
We wanted to go a natural route. So, there's tons of like products with like hyaluronic acid, there's tons of like different vitamin C serum, stuff like that. But there's very few companies that are doing this all organic, natural route, preservative free. That's something that we really pride ourselves in, is that our product is preservative free. And we found a way around that. And that's very hard to do, because if you look at a lot of different products, you have to have preservatives, right? And that's an ongoing debate. But I think for us, we found a way and we maximize the potency of it. And that's another thing. There's a lot of manufacturers said, oh, you don't need this much potency, but we felt we did, right? And, the customers all see the results from it.
And also, I mean, before launch, we do test it on friends and family. We have a number of people that try it out, before we, launch to the market. So, that's what we usually do.
Yeah, and I, me being a pharmacist, I do the checks of the ingredients, and we also work with a chemist and formulator just to make sure that it all makes sense, right? And then once we do that, we launch it, and our first flavor took off really well. We do plan to launch more flavors this year. and that's our next step. But something that was really kind of like a good thing that we learned when we went on Shark Tank was to like kind of walk before you run. So we really want to establish this SKU and make sure that this product does well for the customers until we move on. So, but I think we've established that by now. And so everyone's been asking for new flavors anyway. So that's our next move.
So it seems like there was a lot of work that went into creating this product. And of course, you had started out on this journey thinking that you're going to start a business and grow it. I think that's a dilemma for a lot of business owners, that if you have a business idea, how do you ensure that it's something that people are actually going to buy? So it seems like you put a lot of effort. Did you actually, besides like sharing it with your friends and family, did you in any way try to test out the idea that this is actually going to be more of a commercial success?
So actually, when we first launched, we were both really nervous, and we did beauty pop-ups. And there's this one time where, we were, showing it to this lady. We introduced it to this lady, and she looked at us and laughed. And we were both like crushed because they're like, we felt really bad, like silly. But we came home and we were like, you know what, like we believe in our product. We know that it works. We just need to find the right type of people that can appreciate it. So we just kept going. And we sent it to an influencer. She did a post. She loved it. And that post went viral overnight. We had like over 1 million views and completely sold out of stock. I mean, I think we started off with like 4,000 units, sold out of that within like a week. And so that's when we were both like, okay, people like this. And now let's really, let's keep moving forward. And the other interesting thing was that like when we first started, we weren't sure if people were gonna love the formula. So when we launched, we called it an MVP.
Okay.
But this actually, people love it, and we continue to sell the same thing that we started with.
Yeah, I think for every entrepreneur, and this is kind of what I go by, when you first start out, right, you want that confidence that people will buy your product, right? But you don't know. You don't have the sales to prove it. You don't have the people, the returning customers. You don't have the lifetime customers, and you don't have the sales or the accolades or the reviews, right? So I think for us, I think this is what I've been telling Lynda, my wife, is that you have to have the courage instead to just go, right? And Love&Pebble as a brand, we didn't start with this. We started in 2018 selling skincare tools that we did pretty good, but it was never a market we could scale, right? And so we started that bunch of skincare tools. We just finally sold through one of the SKUs that was probably one of our biggest mistakes. I mean, it was a big mistake, but we gave enough margin that if we ever had to sell through and discount and just get out and recoup our money. And I think that's what a lot of companies, when you do launch products, that's what you have to kind of embed into your business plans. If it does well, great. If it doesn't do well, then you have an exit strategy. This product has just changed our business completely. So even to the point where now we have to revamp our website and really go more into the beauty pop side of it. But we kind of knew this was going to be our hero product because it's just so unique. Every other product that we're selling was similar, right? There's tons of other skincare tools like it. So it'll be hard for us to really scale. So I mean, that's kind of to your question. Every entrepreneur starts with this, but you got to start somewhere. And we laugh because actually before we even started with a beauty brand, we started on Amazon, right? And we were selling dog shampoo. Okay. And we're doing arbitrage, and still to this day we have a case of dog shampoo in my garage, and that's as a reminder. And the reason why we couldn't sell is because I didn't calculate the weight of shipping it, which would actually cause me to be negative per transaction.
Hmm.
But it's just a reminder that you just, you don't know until you start, and then you learn these things that, hey, shipping weight does matter, and it will cut your profits to negative, and we're learning along the way. So.
By the way, do you still do pharmacy, or is this like your full-time thing now?
So I just put in my notice.
Oh,
So I'm exiting my company, which I've been there for over 10 years
okay.
at the same pharmacy. So it is a bittersweet. I really love my career as a pharmacist. So I was basically a pharmacist for Delta Airlines.
Okay.
So basically based in their corporate headquarters, and then all my clientele or patients were the executives for Delta Airlines, which is, probably the dream career job for a pharmacist. But our business got so big that I, basically had to step away and really focus on being a true founder and managing our team and supporting Lynda instead of doing after hours. So.
I'm curious, the influencer who made the post, was that on Instagram or?
It was on TikTok.
Oh, TikTok.
And yeah, and since then we've actually gone viral 5 times. And so we started, that one video had 1 million views. I posted one with my mom that has 4.7 million views. And then I posted another one of my acne journey, which has like 3 million views. And then, it's just we've had multiple, so it's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
So TikTok is your best sales channel then?
Yeah, TikTok is where we are basically, and when I say we, I really just mean Lynda, because I will post a video and I'll get like 200 views, and then she'll come around and post a video and it automatically get like 500K views. And basically TikTok has shown us a lot of love. We've been reached out to by ByteStand to feature us as a small business. I think we did a presentation back in October to kind of share, our journey as a small business on TikTok. And honestly, I think TikTok is the best for us because it's really organic, right?
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of companies are trying to get onto TikTok and do honestly what Lynn has done. But before we had any of our accolades, like featured on the Today Show, going on Shark Tank, it was all TikTok first, and that's how those PR opportunities found us. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. We're just gonna be native to TikTok and show our LP fam there that we're here.
It's interesting. I talk to business owners, and for some business owners, they try a TikTok and nothing happens. And then there are others who go viral on TikTok, and it's a big revenue generator for them. So TikTok is definitely a good opportunity. So you said that you had to do a lot of work to find the right manufacturer because a lot of the manufacturers were not producing what you wanted to produce. Can you share a little bit about, did you start that in the US? Are you still in the US? Are you manufacturing in China?
We are in the US, and we went through dozens, and it was just really hard because we would, get samples from them. It was just not quite right. And so finally we found one that really aligns with our ethos and our mission. And so far, we've been really happy. And the other thing about us is that we are food grade. So a lot of manufacturing companies don't want to work with food ingredients because they're not familiar. So kind of marrying, food grade with cosmetics, that's just been kind of an area that a lot of people don't want to do.
Interesting. Do you have any patents on this product?
Yep. So as soon as we launched, we filed a provisional, but which quickly we knew we had something after we sold. Provisionals are always good because they do it as basically a placeholder. But we filed our full utility patent, so it's under review right now. So yeah, that's something that we know that it's going to be very important as we kind of like scale up and get bigger and bigger. But yeah, so utility patent. We might throw in a couple design patents as well. And then of course we have all the trademarks.
Are there any competitors who are creating like similar kind of product or similar concept of combining cryotherapy with, you know, this face mask kind of a thing that you feel that are your competitors in the market now?
I guess there are some other brands that have tools that you could, you know, they're like a mold that you can put water and freeze that. But what sets us apart is our formula. And then there are other, like their skin tools, like the rollers. And, you know, there are a lot of like natural face masks out there, which there's no freezing aspect to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would imagine that, there will be soon just from our success, but, I think we've gotten a head start on everyone, but honestly, it's our formulation that's kind of separated us from everyone else, right?
Mhm.
So what do you think in this kind of a situation where you know that soon maybe someone will copy your product? Like, are you thinking about your next product, or are you just thinking about focusing on this and really just pushing it as much as you can in terms of sales, and really maximizing the opportunity?
I mean, I think Lynn and I have like kind of like similar opinions on this. I personally like it. If someone copies me, that means there's a market for it, right? And I think that's as a brand, you don't want someone to copy you, but at the same time, there's a lot of value in seeing that, hey, there's other, companies that want to do this because that means that there's customer demand, right? I think the main thing that we're focusing on is brand building. So really taking care of our LP fam. That's what we call every single one of our customers. And I think that's what separates the successful companies from companies that just rely on just their product, right? If you look at every successful company, it's the same thing over and over. Now, do you have to deliver on a high quality product? Yes, we do. And I think that's what we're really going to focus on. But it's really taking care of the customer and really, acquiring them and making sure that they are part of our LP fam. So, that's a question I think every entrepreneur asks themselves, like, oh my gosh, what if someone copies me, takes, 20% of my sales and, it hurts, right? But I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think you really have to, at the end of the day, really bring that customer into your journey. And I think we were super successful with Shark Tank is because we got to share that part of our journey. So at the end of the day, it's not necessarily so much as your product as who you are as a company. And I 100% believe in that. Will you lose some market share to, people who come in and, sell their product for like 50% off? Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you have high quality ingredients, high quality product, and really, share that story about your brand, I think you'll be okay.
So when you say taking care of the customer, is this more referring to like a post-purchase experience, like you're giving them great shipping experience, return experience, great customer service, or is it more around like storytelling and engaging them on social media, those kind of things?
I think it's both. I think it's definitely that, right? Taking care of the customer. If there's any issues, we definitely take care of them. It's also sharing our story. And that's something that's why I think I think that's why some companies succeed on TikTok. And that's why some companies fail on TikTok, is because the people on TikTok really can sense when you're being authentic and when you're not, right? If you're just posting, trying to follow a trend, trying to do it because you want to make a sale, then no, that won't work. But if you really want to tell your story about how you're trying to create something that's going to change the skincare game, that is there to help people, and even our product named Love&Pebble is meant so that we're a skincare company that cares, all the way down to the packaging, making sure that we align with the values and and making sure that we are more eco and use sustainable ingredients, sustainable package. All of it matters, right? And those are the little minute details I think that a lot of companies like miss, because at the end of the day, they're trying to make sure that their margins are good, but that's the wrong way of thinking, right?
In terms of customer acquisition, I know you said social media and organic, like it's working really great for you. But are you also trying paid advertising like Google ads or Facebook ads? Because the thing with these social media is like they can change their algorithms, and the posts that are going viral may not go viral again. Are you like, what are other sorts of traffic that you have that are more, you would say, sustainable?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like you can't depend on like a video going viral every single time, right? So yes, we do have an agency that we work with. We do TikTok ads, paid, and then Facebook, Instagram, and then Google, which Google is actually probably one of our biggest drivers. But I think that had a lot to do with our, airing on Shark Tank and then just people Googling us. We also are on Amazon, so we will start doing PPC on Amazon because it's just such a powerful, sales channel. So we do understand the importance of that. However, and this is just my belief, and I could be completely wrong in this, that will always be secondary to us kind of like focusing on our brand. Like I like to look at it as like, that will just help further the customer down the funnel journey. And especially I think it's kind of proven because I think a lot of our success is in the retargeting ads. But we want people to understand our story first. And I think that's what's worked for us. And, as we scale, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to adapt and adjust. But for now, where we are in our business, I think that's where we are, and it's working for us.
So your business is more of like a printer and ink kind of a business, right? So once a person has purchased this mold that they use, and once the material or the natural product that they put on that runs out, they will have to reorder it. Do you see a lot of like your customers reordering that, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have a lot of subscriptions, reorders. So some people even buy like 2 or 3 at a time for like their salons or just to use with family and friends.
Except for the fact that we don't charge like crazy, ridiculous refill amounts.
Okay.
We're very reasonable, right? Like the printer and ink cartridge, that like they'll give you a printer just so that they can get you on the refill. But I think we're really reasonable in our pricing. I think our masks come to like about $2 or less per mask, which is totally reasonable, especially with the ingredients that we're using. So we wanted to keep it affordable and not make it so like exclusive to a certain type of buyer. But that being said, we also wanted it to be sustainable. So that's why we have the refill, so they don't have to, buy a new mask every time and increase that like carbon footprint on the earth and, waste a bunch of masks that just go into landfills, right?
Yeah, we were, debating if we wanted to do single use or not. And so we decided that, having a reusable tray would be the best thing for, as far as like sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you were on Shark Tank. Can you share a little bit about your experience going there, making the pitch? Of course, I think sharks did not come through with an offer. Can you share a little bit about your whole experience? What what kind of preparation went into that, and then when you returned, were you disappointed? I'm sure the episode itself drove a lot of traffic to your site and maybe sales also.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start off like, so I think it was like we launched this product in March, and then in April we were in Kendra Scott's store, and she's one of the guest sharks, right? So I remember looking over my wife and I was like, you know what? We're going to be on Shark Tank. You know, we're entrepreneurs, so we're a big kind of fan of the show. And so I looked over, I was like, you know, we are going to be on Shark Tank. And she's like, well, yeah, whatever. So 2 weeks go by and then we get a call from Shark Tank. So we didn't apply. We didn't even like, you know, we weren't even thinking about getting on the show. And at first I was like, okay, someone heard me in the store and they're trying to, you know, steal my social security and scam us, right? And I was like, this is not real. And so then we Googled it and we were like, oh my God, this is real. So then even then we're like, okay, well, we're probably not even going to get on it, you know. So we did the application, which the application process is very, very long. The Sony producers and the ABC producers, they really get into your numbers, and you have to go through, like, even where we're at, we had to go like 3 or 4 rounds of auditions, right? So they keep, like, narrowing down. And then we're like, okay, we got to like the last one where, you know, we're in front of the executive producers and we're talking to them, and then, you know, they're prepping us and like, okay, well, we're still not going to get in until they give us tickets to fly out to California. And we're like, oh my God, we're really going. So then, you know, we go out there, and I don't know if you can tell about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, it was so surreal for us, and we prepped a lot. And you know, like, even when we were working with the producers, they helped us with our pitch and all of that. We practiced our numbers, but when we got there, I mean, we were both just so nervous and full of energy. But, you know, we gave it our best shot. And, you know, when you're in front of the sharks, there's just so much going on. They're talking over each other, you know, it's moving fast. So we had to, you know, answer on our feet. Like, we just tried our best. But ultimately, you know, we didn't get a deal and we were really crushed. But looking back, I think that it was a blessing in disguise. I think we were pretty happy with the outcome, because we realized that we have a lot of work to do. And we just got so much love and support from airing that, you know, we didn't really need the sharks after all.
Yeah, I mean, cash flow, when we went in there, I think we, you know, gave our valuation at a pretty fair valuation. We didn't really need the cash flow. We really wanted the partnership, right? The connections. And so that, you know, we were kind of bummed about that. We really wanted Lori, and we're like, oh, please, Lori. And then the thing that they don't show you there, I think that, like, when they air, it's only like, what, 12 minutes or something like that, but you're in there for like hours. Like, we were in there, and, you know, the good thing about that was we learned a lot from all the different sharks, right? So they gave us a lot of advice. They showed us a lot of love. Like, Mark Cuban was really supportive. Mr. Wonderful, even though he was like kind of like mean, he was like, I mean, he couldn't really say anything about our numbers. The only thing that I think they said really is we were too young, which we are. You know, we just launched in March, and then we aired in June. So, you know, the thing that I think they kind of thought also is, like, our viral post, the one that Lynda did it for her mom. I mean, we sold all of our inventory. It was like 100K in like 4 days we sold. And so they were kind of like reluctant to that, and kind of like to your point of what you said, like, hey, you can't rely on viralness all the time, which we understand, but it doesn't hurt, right? And especially if you go more than once, it's, you know, it's like lightning doesn't strike more than once, but it does for us. So, so we're really confident. And then definitely after Shark Tank, we were so nervous, because they don't prepare you for when you air until like, I think a week or two. So we're like scrambling to get inventory ready. We're scrambling to make sure our website doesn't crash. We're trying to set everything up, you know, capture the leads and all that stuff. And I think we did a pretty good job on it. I think the only, you know, thing that we had a hiccup was like, it just so many orders came in. And not every Shark Tank airing does that, but I mean, we were fortunate enough to, like, basically we aired the day before Friday before Black Friday, which was like the perfect time. And then we went straight to Black Friday, and then went crazy all the way to Christmas.
Then, you know, the holidays, that was really crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, with shipping and all that, that was extra crazy.
Shipping delays. And so we And that's the case in point, kind of like what I was talking about with taking care of our customers. Like we missed some shipping dates for Christmas gifts, right? And it's a big bummer, but it's kind of out of control when it's UPS or USPS, which we will never use again. We'll probably only stick with UPS because it's so bad. But we took care of every single customer that we didn't fulfill on our promise, and I think that's all you can do as a brand, right? Even though it sucks and it hurts, but yeah, I mean, Shark Tank really blew us up, put us on the map, I think. And actually, the funny thing is, before that, we aired on the Today Show, and that kind of blew us up too. So, a lot of good PR opportunities, but I think with all these kind of like pie in the sky, like big promotions and opportunities, I keep telling Lynda that we need to get back down to just taking care of one customer at a time, and I think that's kind of our motto, and that's what's going to help us succeed. And when these big opportunities come, great. That's just an extra icing on the cake, right? But it all starts with taking care of like each customer.
What is your warehousing fulfillment strategy? Is this something that you're doing yourself, or you have like a third-party logistics that helps you with this?
Yeah, so when we first launched in March, we were fulfilling ourselves out of our house. But that got old very quickly. So I think we were selling like 20, 30, and then we scaled up to 100 a day. And then we're just like, okay, this is too much. So right now we have like 2 3PLs, and then also our HQ here, which we can fulfill some orders. But we really want to make sure that we go through the 3PLs, and also we just are about to onboard with Amazon fulfillment, which it's way quicker, way faster, and a lot cheaper. So we'll be able to pass those savings on to the customer.
I know that you built a relationship with Urban Outfitters. Can you share how did you reach out to them, and what helped you to build the relationship with them?
Yes, so they actually reached out to us, and the same thing where we thought that it was a scam. But after doing some research, I checked on LinkedIn, and I was like, oh, this is a real buyer at Urban Outfitters. And so we were really excited about that. And they started small. I think they only ordered like a couple hundred at first, and then slowly built up from there. And it's been a great partnership this far.
Yeah, for sure.
That makes me curious. Like, in terms of your channel, is your website or Amazon a better seller of your products?
So my background into e-commerce is we started on Amazon, right? So that's the space that I'm very comfortable with. That being said, every Amazon seller wants to get off of Amazon and start their own brand, right? Through Shopify. So we started that. We launched the Beauty Pops off of Amazon first, and we've sold out so many times. I haven't had the chance to send in any inventory into Amazon. Okay. Until we did. I think we only sent a small amount, like 500 units, back in November in preparation for Shark Tank. But that sold out really quickly. So that's our big push this year. Is we should be in stock in Amazon like in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Which there's so many benefits to selling on Amazon. There's also a lot of cons, and a lot of Amazon sellers, there's an ongoing debate, but they do have value, and we're going to start using them for fulfillment. So I think it'll be beneficial for both. But as of date, 90% of our sales on Shopify.
Yeah, we have like a love-hate relationship with Amazon. And so we were like, let's try it without Amazon. But so many of our customers wanted us on Amazon. So that's what brought us back on there.
What does your team look like right now?
So it's actually 3 co-founders. So we're like kind of like the face of it, like Paul, Lynda, Lynda and Paul, Love and Pebble. That's kind of where the name. And we have a team of about 5 people, and a couple of VAs that work remote. So pure e-commerce company. And then as we scale up, then we do partner with a lot of agencies, and then we'll start bringing them in-house. But I think this is the way we want to really maximize our profits. And so hiring just random people, we don't need a board of execs or whatever yet, and I probably won't ever want that. And that's also another reason why I'm kind of glad we didn't get a deal, because I'm pretty sure once you get investment, it changes your business. So we are a small but mighty team. That's what you call it, right? And we like it that way, so we can be nimble and adapt.
So your third.
We would be open. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think we would be open to investments, but not so much for the capital, but more for like offering value. So
yeah, for sure.
I like the idea of having investors as long as they can like help
open doors.
Yeah, open doors.
Or give insight, yeah.
Yeah.
Your third co-founder, is it just a family member or a friend?
Yeah, family member, but also he's taking the lead on, we have some Asia ventures that we're looking into. So we're gonna take it.
Expanding into into Asia.
So this question I ask every entrepreneur, in every entrepreneur's journey, startup journey, business journey, there's always, mistakes made, failures, and lessons learned. Would you be able to share like 1 or 2 of your biggest mistakes, failures, and what did you learn? What can other entrepreneurs learn from it?
You start.
You want me to go first? Okay, there's a lot. What I always will tell people, and this is kind of like the motivational thing, is all of your successes are stacked upon a pile of failures. So I have like a ton, right? I think the biggest ones that we had was staying with an agency that isn't performing too long, which really hurt us in terms of cash flow, right? I think our first agency, it was the most, they were bad. And we're a beauty brand. I think one of their posts, their ads was like, Happy National Cheeseburger Day. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it was so irrelevant.
I'm serious. Like we even archived it. We didn't delete it off of our Instagram. We were like, we're saving this because when we make it and we look back, we're gonna remember that. So it was just blatant. Like, it's just, you don't even know what to say at that point, right? So we should have cut them up earlier. So that way you can move on to the next. I think that's the biggest one. And I think the second one is to really launch MVPs quicker. And this is just, I think Lynn and I have like different opinions on this, but I'm one of those people who are more like ready, fire, aim, right? So I launch really quick. So I will say that that's good, but then also taking a step back. I think that's why Lynn and I work so well together, but it's also why we kind of get in sometimes heated arguments, because she likes to take a step back and like really analyze things. So I think balancing that out is the second thing that entrepreneurs will always face, whether to go or stop. So those are mine too. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I would just echo more on like the failure part is at first, I would take it to heart, but I realized that failure is part of the journey, and it's just part of it. And the more you fail, the sooner you get to, getting up on top. And it's kind of like riding a bike, right? Like you're gonna fall so many times, but you're going to learn how to ride that bike the more times you practice and get back on. So totally agree with that. And like one of the biggest things for us is also partnering with companies that weren't able to scale with us. Like we grew really fast. So just kind of thinking in the future and kind of preparing for that, knowing that, hey, if, like right now we're partnering with a company, do they have scalability? Are they, prepared for that? Because before we only had cost in mind, but now we know that, we're going to have to pay a little bit more, but yeah, but we're going to, we need to find a company that can grow with us.
Yeah, and I think a lot of like entrepreneurs, you focus on like the weight of failure, but there's also weight of success too, right? So as you sell a lot, it actually brings up more issues and more problems. And so I think that's kind of I think a tagline that I like to use is the all my failures have made me strong enough to handle the weight of success. And success is actually, it's really heavy. It's really hard when you're starting to scale up and you're starting to do, inventory, costs of like 6 figures or whatever, and or 5 figures, 6 figures, whatever. It gets scary, right? So I think that's kind of like a words of wisdom that I would give to new entrepreneurs starting out, is that just wait, handle all your failures, because the success is going to be even more scary.
Good advice. Now we're going to move on to the rapid fire round. And in this round, I'm going to ask you a few questions and you have to answer them in maybe 1 or 2 words, and both of you can answer. So the first one is a book recommendation that you would give to entrepreneurs or business people.
Oh, I really like, it's Never Split the Difference. That's a really good read. And
I would say 12 months to 1 million. It's literally every entrepreneur should read the book, and I recommend it to all my friends.
An innovative product or idea in the current e-commerce, retail, or tech landscape that you feel excited about.
Can I say Beauty Pops?
Yeah.
You can, yeah. I actually like beer. Was it Poppy? It's
Drink
another
Poppy.
Drink Poppy. It's a apple cider vinegar which we saw on Shark Tank, and we just like bought it. So that's top of mind.
Yeah.
Cool. A business or productivity tool or software that you would recommend, or a productivity tip.
Monday app. I love that. It helps us organize.
And then for me, I would say Zendesk, because that's what's handling all our customer service. So it's crucial.
Another startup or business that you think is doing great things right now.
Skin Tea. They are doing really good right now.
Yeah. I would say, dang, I can't even think of anything.
Honestly, Drink Poppy was pretty good too.
Yeah, Drink Poppy's good too. They're killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to have an answer to everything. A peer entrepreneur or business person whom you look up to, or someone who inspires you.
Peru Kim, and she is pretty much our mentor, friend, and she actually hooked us up.
Yeah. So she's a local business. She's a local business owner here in Atlanta. She has her company's name is Sugarcoat. I think she has like 7 salons. But she's the reason she introduced us. But I mean, she's a very, very kind and giving entrepreneur, and has inspired us a lot. So
absolutely.
So her company is Sugarcoat. What is her name again?
Peru Kim.
Okay. And the final question: best business advice you have ever received or you would give to other entrepreneurs?
You go for it.
And I think I talked about this a little bit earlier, but I mean, when you first start, you have to have courage, right? Because you're gonna fail so much times. And I think that everyone says that, you see all these signs like the little kitten hanging there or whatever, but you have to have a lot of courage, because you won't have confidence when you start. because the confidence doesn't come until you start succeeding. So courage over confidence is what I always tell all entrepreneurs when they start, because you're going to need it to get through all the failures. And once you get through all the failures, then you have the confidence to success, then you lead to the confidence.
Yeah, for me, it's keep going, because a lot of people quit too soon. So that's the same way it was with TikTok for us. Like we would get 100 views, and there were so many times where I'm like, okay, this is not for us. I want to quit. But if you keep going, you may just get that viral post. And you know, we after 6 months, we are now at 80,000 followers. So just keep going.
Perfect. So those were all the questions that I had today. Thank you so much, Paul and Lynda, for joining us today. Where can people find you if people want to buy your products? Where's the website? And if they want to connect with you, what's the best way?
Yeah, so loveandpebble.com. And we are both on Instagram. It's loveandpebble, and TikTok as well.
Yeah. And yeah, so you can go to our website. We're also available on urbanoutfitters.com, and then soon to be released on Amazon as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing your story, for sharing your business successes and failures, and yeah, for inspiring entrepreneurs. So thank you again for joining us today at Trip Talks.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Yeah, thanks.
That's great. That was great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Yeah.
Anything, I'm starting to ask this question to entrepreneurs. Any feedback for me? Anything I can improve in terms of the show?